is definitely going to be a lot longer than my usual videos. I will put like timestamps in the description box, so if you guys want to skip ahead, or if you're interested in like a particular thing that I'm reviewing, you can just look in the description box and I'll put timestamps in there so you can skip around. Those of you who have been following me for a while or watching my last couple of videos or know me in real life, you guys know that I am pregnant. I am indeed with child. So my husband and I have been trying to get pregnant for like at least a year, if not longer. And I feel like probably longer. We've been trying to get pregnant since like maybe 3 or 4 months after we got married. And we've been married for almost 2 years. So yeah, maybe like a year and a half. I don't know if you guys are like me or you had parents like mine, but my entire life, all I heard was how hard it was to avoid getting pregnant. Like all I heard was how easy it was to get pregnant. Like you touch a boy, you get pregnant. Kiss a boy, you get pregnant. Look at a boy, boom, pregnant.
Don't have sex, because you will get pregnant and die.
That is not true whatsoever. I was actually shocked by how not easy it was to get pregnant. And I was like, yo, my whole life has been a lie. Okay, so my eye base, aka my concealer, is on. I always feel like I look hella crazy at this stage, but it's my favorite stage of my makeup because everything just looks like a canvas and like it's just ready. It's just ready for whatever is gonna happen to it. So let's make it happen. So I'm gonna list everything that I'm using down below in the description box, and I'll also put timestamps down there because I feel like this is gonna be a long video, okay? So we're gonna try some new stuff and I'm gonna talk about pregnancy, and yeah, so the first thing that I'm gonna be trying that's new to me is the Huda Beauty Naughty Nude palette. This palette just dropped like a couple of days ago, and this is what she looks like. And then this is what she looks like on the inside. The first color I'm gonna go in with is going to be Rough, and it's just like a nude shade. So, as I was saying earlier, oh wow. This does not look nude. Okay, so on my eye, Rough, even though it looks like really, basically like a beige, it looks very burgundy or like mauve on my eye. So like I was saying, I have been trying to get pregnant for a while now, my husband and I, and we got to a point where we just stopped trying. So yeah, basically we had stopped trying really, and I know a lot of people say like, when you stop trying, that's when it's most likely to happen, and I can testify that I think that that's definitely true. But you know, for just the amount of energy that I spent like timing and using apps and like just, I was very, very obsessed with it for a while. And in addition to that, getting some like health news that of course like makes it a little bit more difficult for me to conceive as well. It was just all very discouraging, and I got to a point where I was just like, okay, you know what, if it doesn't happen, like it just doesn't happen, and that's fine, and we can adopt, or we can talk about other options, or like this isn't the end of the world, like it maybe just won't happen. So fast forward to Corona. Girl, I am working my regular schmegular 9-to-5 corporate job, working my little way up the corporate ladder, and along comes Miss Rona, and my job is like, okay, everybody's gonna work from home. So I'm thinking, and I think a lot of us too thought initially like COVID, I don't know about anybody else, but for me, I was like, okay, this is like a precautionary measure because they can't have everybody in the office get sick all at once. And I'm sure like the cases will die down and we'll be like right back to work in like a week or so. Boy, was I wrong. I have been working from home for like 8 or 9 months now, and to be honest, I feel so blessed because I do know so many people who are essential workers, or that just they have jobs where they physically have to be present like at their location. I would be a nervous wreck right now. Like it feels like, you know how, And I won't get like too dramatic with you guys, but you know how sometimes in your life you feel like certain things just line up perfectly? I was always that person where like things like never lined up perfectly. Like something would always be a miss. Like I would find the perfect job but have like a ton of relationship issues, or I would be like, you know, making more money but I would have to be in a position where I was like, you know, compromising like, you know, what my core values and beliefs were, and then I would have to leave that position or leave that role, or like there was always something crazy going on in my life and things never lined up. As soon as we got sent home, like to work from home, it seemed like things just started like lining up. I felt more effective, and maybe this is just, and to be honest with you guys, like I feel like a lot of companies up until COVID happened were like trying to pretend as if it was impossible to do your job remotely, right? Like a lot of companies were like, no, you know, you can't work from home, blah, 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 blah. Not only have I been more productive working from home, I've also had less stress and I've been happier. And I really do attribute the fact that I got pregnant shortly after like coming to work from home, like to probably a decrease in stress. Like, and keep in mind you guys, like we had only been trying for like a year and some change. I have friends who have been trying for a really long time. I also have friends who got pregnant the first, second, third time they had sex. So I, you know, from both ends of the spectrum, I can kind of, I won't say relate because I can't imagine 5 years of going through what I felt like was a failure for a year and a half. I'll tell you, like, I definitely felt like this is the one thing my body's supposed to be able to do. I have health issues. I have really bad anxiety. I have fibroids. You know, I'm having really bad stress. I had been, you know, recently diagnosed with PTSD. Like I had a lot of issues going on, and I really can't imagine going through that hell for years and years and years. And I really like, I really feel for everybody who has that, who has to deal with that for so long, because it really is heartbreaking, and the toll that it takes on you emotionally is like unreal. So I've laid down like kind of my transition slash base. Y'all, this color was supposed to be beige and it definitely looks burgundy on me. It does not show up on my skin like it does in the palette. So I was gonna take it one direction, we're gonna have to take it a different direction. That's fine. Finding out I was pregnant. So I'm working from home, minding my own business, y'all. I hadn't really noticed anything majorly different. And what's funny is probably like 2 weeks before this, I was having a conversation with my best friend and her friend, and we were at her house, and I was kind of like complaining about not being able to get pregnant, and I was like, I have tried everything. I don't know what else to do. I think my vagina is broken.
Maybe it's really rough. Maybe it's had enough broken.
Y'all, I was like convinced something is wrong with me, and it's just not gonna happen. The next day, I woke up and I felt terrible. Keep in mind, like we were drinking, but we weren't drinking. Like I had like 3 beers. Never in my life have I ever had a hangover as bad as this from 3 beers. I had 3 regular beers and I was like, I feel terrible. I woke up and I felt nauseous. I had headaches. I was like, this is not a regular, like I know I'm creeping up on 30, but like 3 beers should not take me down like this. This is an atrocity. So I texted my friend and she was like, you should take a pregnancy test. And I was like, girl, you're tripping. I haven't missed my period. You know, I'm living my life. We already know that my vagina is broken. So there's no point in me taking a test. You're dumb, shut up. So maybe like 2 or 3 days go by. I am like working from home and I started noticing that I'm having like just irrational responses to things that would normally, I like wouldn't get a response out of me. Like things that I would normally just be like, whatever. I am now like raging. Like I am now Khalees in the I Hate You So Much Right Now music video. Like that was me on a regular basis. And I was like, yo, why am I so angry? The situation that caused me to actually go get a pregnancy test, because I was talking to my husband and I was like, I feel like I should get a test. Keep in mind, we had like a backlog of not a backlog. We had stock, okay? We had stock of pregnancy tests because we had been trying for so long. I had just so happened to like not have, like I didn't have any more pregnancy tests. I had like empty boxes under our sink from me like taking pregnancy tests literally every time I felt a little nauseous for the past year and a half. So I'm like, I feel like I should go get a test. And Pat's like, no, you're fine. You don't need a test. You're fine. Because he knew that, like, you know, when you're trying and you take tests and they're negative and you get sad and shit, and he was just like sick of me being a Debbie Downer, walking around the house taking these tests every time I felt like a little, I don't know, something. And he was like, no, don't worry about it. Don't take a test. You're fine. Everything's fine. Everything's beautiful. So this one particular day, I am minding my business, overreacting to things at work, and I had like back-to-back conference calls. And I had calls like, when I say I had back-to-back conference calls, I mean like I didn't have a moment to catch my breath before the next call started. And I hate when that happens to me at work, but it's just become a trend lately for me. I don't know. The nature of my job, I just have back-to-back conference calls. Usually I'm fine and like it's annoying, but like I'll go, you know, run and grab a snack or like run and go to the restroom or something like in between calls. This particular day I had zero time. Like one of my calls ran over. So I was already late to another conference call. So I did not have time to like throw like a Hot Pocket or something like that in the microwave or like do anything. Next thing I know, y'all, I cannot make this up. I like was bawling, like I was so upset because I was hungry and I had to like join this other call. I ran into our kitchen, grabbed a big ass spoon, like a tablespoon, dipped it, like grabbed a huge scoop of peanut butter and like shoved it in my mouth and like stood in the kitchen with this fucking tub of peanut butter and this spoon crying because I was hungry. And I was like so upset that I didn't have time to like eat an actual meal, and I was just like shoveling peanut butter into my mouth. It was the most disgusting, like bizarre thing that I've ever done in my life. Like I don't know what made me go for peanut butter, but about halfway through like smacking and trying to get that peanut butter down, I was like, you know what? We're gonna go get a test after work. So I got off work that day. I drove down to our local grocery store, and my plan was, because I know I always get sad when I take a test and it's negative, the plan was I am going to get a test, but I'm also going to buy a bottle of wine in case it's not positive. And then I think I bought like, oh, and I bought prenatals in case it is positive, and like some snacks or something. Y'all, so I buy my pregnancy test, I had pregnancy test, ice cream, prenatals, and wine, right? So this is like a foolproof operation here that I'm doing. I'm like, listen, I have my alternate like scenario. If it's like, if I'm not pregnant, we got wine, we got ice cream, it's fine. If I am pregnant, we got prenatals, we got ice cream, pack and have the wine, it's fine. So now I'm gonna take Desire real quick. Yeah, Desire, and I'm gonna pop that right on top of my lid. I'm keeping it really cute, really simple today. I'm not trying to do anything extra because I need to tell you guys this story and like tell you guys about my experience. I get in the car after grabbing my ice cream and my pregnancy test and my wine, and my fucking car won't start. I have a dead battery. And I'm like, this cannot be happening. I'm already like shaking. So I was like, okay, I'm shaking, car won't start. Anybody that knows me in real life knows that I am terrified of vehicles, okay? I did not get my driver's license until I was 25. I was just like, listen, I'm a control freak. I'm type A. I have really bad anxiety. I can control what I do in the car. I can't control these other drivers, and I feel like I'm just gonna die. Like I'm just gonna get in the car and something's gonna happen and I'm just gonna die. So it took me until I was 25 years old to get a freaking driver's license because I was so scared to drive, especially on the highway. Y'all, I get in this car already anxiety on 10 and my fucking car won't start, and I'm sitting there like freaking out. I call my husband, he's at work, and I'm like, okay, what do I do? So I'm like, okay, jumper cables, right? Like someone has to be able to jump something, and then like I've never jumped a car before in my life, and here I am sitting here looking for fucking jumper cables. I've never even, like, I don't even remember what they look like. I'm like, I think there's a red one. I don't know. I get out of my car. This is like the last ditch effort of like, I don't know what I'm doing, someone please help me. So I just get out of my car and just stand there and like look around. And I'm like in the parking lot looking around like, somebody, anybody, please, someone do something. Luckily, there was this really lovely black woman and she was with her baby and she was like pushing her car, getting ready to get into her car, and she was like, do you need help? And I was like, girl, yes, because my car won't start. I'm pretty sure the battery is dead. And she was like, do you have jumper cables? And I was like, I don't think so. And she's like, dang, I don't have any either. So she like helps me flag down some people to help me jumpstart my car. She helps me flag down this older black couple in the parking lot. And they're like more than willing to help me. They're like, yeah, no problem. And so she's like, okay, we have jumper cables, don't worry about it. And so I'm like, okay, they're gonna help me. So the wife is like, yeah, can you go ahead and pop your hood? Y'all, I am so doggone pathetic. I can't remember where to pop the hood of the car. So I'm like looking everywhere. I'm like, the windows are going up and down, the windshield wipers. I'm like, where's this button? Like, and now I'm embarrassed, I'm sweating because this lady's looking at me like, you don't know how to pop the hood on your own car? And I'm like, ooh, awkward. I don't usually have to do this. So I'm like, opening the gas tank. I'm opening everything that I can find. Everything was getting open. Trunk was getting open. Gas tank was getting open. Everything was gonna be opened until I found how to open the trunk, the hood. So finally she like literally starts like looking in the car for me and she's like, here, we'll figure it out. And I'm like, she thinks I'm an idiot. So I look at this woman like probably with the most pathetic, ridiculous look on my face. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. I don't remember where this is. I promise you this is my car. I just don't remember the thingy to pop the hood. And I don't know if I'm like pregnant or if I'm PMSing, but I'm really stressed out right now and I really need your help. And I am crying at this point because I'm so humiliated that I can't figure out how to pop my own fucking hood. And she's like, it's okay. I think this is it. And she like pops the hood. I'm like, oh my God, yay. So anyway, they gave me a jump. I, went on my merry way home and took my pregnancy test, and long story short, Pat still hasn't finished that bottle of wine. I definitely ate all that ice cream that night and, found out we were pregnant. So that's the story, the very dramatic story of how I found out I was pregnant. So moving on to my first trimester. I'm fast forwarding y'all because there was nothing really exciting that happened. Like, I was definitely very anxious, of course, about being pregnant in the middle of a pandemic, and I still am. I just because everything is different, right? Like, I was worried that Pat wouldn't be able to like come into my doctor's appointments. Luckily, my doctor was like, okay, well, he's okay to come in specifically for the sonogram. So as soon as we get ready to do your sonogram, like, you can go get your husband and he can come in and sit or whatever. And so that was good. I was worried that I wouldn't be able to have anybody. I will tell you though, the one thing that I was very surprised by, very surprised by, was how fucking much my first trimester sucked. Let me tell you something. My first trimester was so ghetto. I know I just finished telling you guys how we were trying and how blessed I am that I'm pregnant, and I am. That doesn't mean that it can't suck at the same time. Those things are not mutually exclusive. This sucks. So I had like heard my friends say before that like they didn't have the best pregnancy experience. Some did though. I will say, I have some friends who were like, pregnancy is amazing, it's so beautiful, and you have a beautiful experience of carrying your child, and like it's just so peaceful, and you just feel like at one with the baby, and like everything is just great. Let me tell you something. You lying bitches. You lied. You lied, you lied, you lied. Those were all lies, okay? Let me tell you how my first trimester, morning sickness, like I was aware that morning sickness could be, obviously more than just the morning. right? Like I was sick all day. I was nauseous all day. I was throwing up all day. I couldn't hold anything down for probably the first 4 months. So well into my second trimester, I was still not able to hold a lot of food down. Only particular things, and just horrible, horrible, horrible. I definitely felt like I was dying my whole first trimester. And then what's funny is, like, aside from that one freaking meltdown I had at the grocery store, I didn't really have any other like mood swings or like emotional thing. I think I was just so busy like being sick that I didn't really have like time to have mood swings. Like you can't be angry when you're just throwing up all the time. Like I had my feelings were hungry and nauseous. Those were the only feelings that I had. I will also say, like, I was extremely sleepy during this time frame. I would get off of work usually like 5:30. I would eat dinner at 6 and I would be asleep at 6:30. And I would sleep until 7 a.m. the next morning, and I'd have work at like 8:30. Like I was sleeping 12, 13 hours every single night. I was just so tired. I couldn't keep myself awake. And that was like the most significant moments of my first trimester were literally just me being so sick. I felt like I was gonna die. Horrible migraines, like sinus migraines, and just sleepiness. So yeah, that whole first trimester was an entire mess. So I think that I am done or almost done with the lid. I want to zoom you guys in some so you can see it better. But this is what the eyes are looking like. So I'm gonna throw on some lashes really quickly, and then I'll do my lower lash line, and then we'll get into the face, and then I'll tell you guys about the gender reveal and second trimester, and so far like what has been going on and what we've been doing to prep for the baby. So I'll be right back. So yeah, so that is pretty much the gist of my first trimester. Sick as a dog. It was around this time that I couldn't even film. I couldn't even think about filming. Like honestly, like I wasn't even thinking about y'all. And I feel really bad saying that, but like I was hugging the toilet every single morning, day and night, and barely eating. I think I lost like 6 pounds in my first trimester. My second trimester is when stuff started to get real. And like really like at the end of my first trimester and the beginning of my second, like it was like my boobs were no longer my boobs. Like my boobs became like little mini like terrorists on my body. Like everything, like my boobs were so sensitive, like the wind would blow and my nipples would be hard. And like I just don't like anything bothering me. Like I don't like anything touching me. I don't want anything to like brush over my skin. Like it's like a big pet peeve for me not pregnant. And the fact that like the gentle wind blew and like my nipples were on rock solid was driving me nuts. Like I hate it. I hate it. I hate it so much. Everything made my boobs hurt or made my nipples hard or both. But my mood like generally increased. Like I guess your mood's gonna increase anytime that you're able to like hold solid food down. But I wasn't sick anymore come like the second, like a month and a half into my second trimester. I was able to like eat food and not throw it up. I would still feel nauseous, but like I wasn't throwing up. I would just like deal with the nausea and then like it would pass eventually. So that was good, and like my energy was up. So I was able to like start recording again and like cook meals, like, you know, because I like to cook, but I just was not like listen, it wasn't gonna happen my first trimester. So I was like happy to finally have like energy back and like do stuff, and so that felt better. I didn't feel as terrible as my first trimester. I'm gonna be going in with the new NARS Soft Matte Complete Foundation, and I got this in the color Medium Deep 1 Syracuse. So this is gonna be my first time trying this. It's pretty cute. It's very modern. It's really on brand for NARS. Do a little Instagram squeeze. So 20-week ultrasound, we found out the gender. originally the plan was for Pat to not know, but for me to know, and then like Pat was there like in the room, and it was just like that wasn't gonna work. And so it turned into we're just both gonna know, and the gender reveal is just gonna be for family. So because we are in the middle of a pandemic, and also we're kind of isolated from our family. So my husband's family is pretty much all military. Everybody in his family is military, and everybody lives all over the place. Like, he has family members like from middle America to like Germany to freaking Alaska. Like, everyone is everywhere, Florida. So it's just not feasible for us to have like, it just wasn't feasible for us to have like an in-person gender reveal, really, unless we did it with like friends that lived in the area. So the plan was, or what we decided to do, was to do a quarantine style COVID edition gender reveal via Zoom, and we decided to do LED glow sticks. I really like this foundation already. So I actually got this idea from a girl on Pinterest who was doing like an in-person gender reveal, and she had like grandparents or parents or something like that that couldn't attend, but she wanted them to participate. So she sent them glow sticks. So she sent them a pink LED glow stick and a blue LED glow stick so that they couldn't cheat, and she labeled each one of them. So what we did was I ordered these glow sticks off of Amazon. I think they were like 17 bucks for like a pack of 12 or something, and they're huge long LED glow sticks. And I decided like, okay, 12 people who are really close to us, 12 really close family members or whatever, and we are going to do a Zoom, and everybody will get a blue glow stick and a pink glow stick so that they can't cheat, because you know people are gonna try to cheat, and we've labeled them. So there was one label on the blue and there was one label on the pink. Then we got on the Zoom call with everybody and we told them, you know, the label for which one to turn on, and basically there's like a little button at the bottom. So we like shipped these all across the freaking country. I don't know, I guess I think I was just like, I had so much more energy, like I was just in the mood to be extra. I was like, this is gonna be freaking epic. And like, granted, it wasn't like this crazy blowout of like an event, but it was really cute, it was really sweet. So we told everybody to press the buttons, and I'll put like a little snippet of the video really quickly here.
That's some bullshit! Behave! Nice. It's the boy! It's the boy! It's the boy! It's the boy!
So yeah, we are having a baby boy, and of course my brother-in-law, who you guys probably heard in the background saying boo, him and his girlfriend, they actually just recently, I won't say recently because she's almost 2, but they have a girl, and so they were like hoping that we would have a girl as well, like, you know, for play date purposes and all that good stuff. So you can hear him in the background being like boo because he was like really banking on like we were definitely gonna have a girl, and of course like we're having a boy, so haha. So that was really fun, and it was just really cute for everybody, and I thought it would be a good way to like get us all together since everybody lives so far, for us to like feel connected even though, you know, COVID. I also did like a cute little TikTok reveal for, you know, just folks who weren't on that like Zoom. I wanted like my friends and like also, you know, my subs, my fam, you guys, to feel included, and to like just know what was going on. I mean, even those of you who didn't know I was pregnant, a lot of you saw that video and you were like, oh my god, not only are you pregnant and I didn't know, but also like you're having a boy and this is like your little announcement. It was really fun, so I really love doing that. Also, shameless plug, that reminds me, if you're not following me on Instagram already, go ahead and follow me so that you can be up to date on the new pregnancy stuff. Also, little guy is due at the end of January, and like both me and Pat are like winter babies. So I was born in December, Pat was born at the end of January. This baby is due at the end of January. So I'm sure that we are going to be all about that winter and holiday spirit in this household because it's everybody's birthday. So yeah, at this point in my pregnancy, like I'm feeling a lot more just comfortable in general with being pregnant. I don't feel like like at this point I've kind of pseudo adjusted. I also started like having more time to research stuff. So at this point I'm like engaging in like the mom forums, like the mom to be forums and stuff like that. So I'm starting to read those and like listen to what other women who are like in the same stage of pregnancy or in the same trimester, same week as me are experiencing, and kind of like make parallels and like see what they did. So that's like really helpful. I am also at this point getting a lot of advice. There's nothing wrong with advice. Like I understand that a lot of women when they were pregnant didn't have, you know, anyone to really like tell them what to expect and all this good stuff, or like give them tips or tricks for things. I totally understand that. The type of person that I am though is like, don't give me unsolicited advice unless I specifically ask for your advice, especially if it's things that are like intrusive. Specifically like mom shaming, which is crazy. Like I even hate saying mom shaming, but like some people are just really wild. Like how you go mom shame me and he's not even here yet? Like what, can you let me be, like let me get a chance to be a mom that you can frown upon? Like shut the hell up, nobody asked you. So I'm in that phase right now still, now that I moved into my 3rd trimester. And I'm not opposed to, again, like getting advice. I am a first-time mom, but sometimes people can be very disrespectful and intrusive with the way that they pose advice to you, as if like you're an imbecile. And I just think that it's, I don't know, it's off-putting, it's kind of rude. Also, like I'm not above asking for advice because obviously, like I said, I'm a first-time mom, I've never done this before. I'm of course going to ask for advice, but unless I specifically ask for advice, like inserting yourself is not the way to get on my good side. It's also not the way for me to relate to you. Like I'm not gonna have a positive image of you if my experiences with you are you like being overly assertive about what you believe as like in what you did with your kids, and how not doing that would somehow categorize me as a bad mom. There's nothing moving forward that I'll want to discuss with you, like period. So navigating that is fun. I will say something that I forgot to mention earlier. After like on my sonogram for my 20-week sonogram is when we found out that one of my fibroids was growing again and pretty rapidly. And so, you know, obviously there's not a huge cause for concern, but of course, like as the baby like continues to grow, you know, there's concern that I will also be essentially feeding the fibroid, and there's a possibility that that fibroid can move towards, or, you know, begin to block like, you know, the vaginal canal, and that may pose some complications as I get closer to my due date. So we're monitoring that to make sure that all goes as planned. But yeah, I'm just trying to like maintain my peace and not let too many comments like get to me. I'm also learning pretty quickly how to tell people to like go away and mind their business. And like, you know, again, I know a lot of people mean it from a good place, but sometimes it's just a lot. I'm kind of a private person, which is funny coming from somebody who like likes to record YouTube videos like and is talking about their life on camera. But I don't ask for advice from, there's like 3 people I ask for advice from, and like that's it. And because I trust them enough to ask their advice on something. Otherwise, you know what I mean? Like I just feel like some people will probe you to get you to ask them for advice just so they can be in your business, and I don't like that either. So I'm very weary about who I ask for advice, because I always just am kind of on guard that way. And I think too, when I talk about advice, I don't mean like what did you pack in your hospital bag? Like that kind of advice. Please throw that my way. Matter of fact, I'm like right now freaking out about what to put in my hospital bag. So I'm thinking like, okay, pajamas, slippers, like something for him to wear, like in his like little going home outfit. What else do I freaking need? Like, somebody said like pads. I don't know. If you guys have any tips or tricks for stuff to put in my hospital bag, please drop those down below in the comment section. I am welcoming that advice. What I am not welcoming is advice about whether or not I should get my kids circumcised, and if that makes me a bad mom, whether or not I should get immunizations, whether or not I should breastfeed. I don't want that. I don't want it. No thanks. I'm canceling it out. I'm Xing it out. Canceling it. It's canceled. No thank you. Yeah, because I feel like those are the most, those are the most divisive questions. Like across all my groups of friends that have kids, the majority of them are like divided on those topics specifically. So I just don't want to hear it because I don't want to have to like have my relationships with my friends change because they think that I should mom like they mom. And I'm just not really like, I don't really want to jump on that train. I will say, finally at the end of my second trimester, I got so excited because I could finally feel like the baby moving. I could finally feel him moving. Oh, the first time I like felt a kick, I was literally on a conference call and I like had an audible gasp and I was like, I know, like you know, and you know for sure, like that was a kick. And so I was like freaking out, borderline crying. I was like, oh my God, he's really in there. Like, of course you knew, I knew he was in there, but like he's in there making his presence known. And it was just like the sweetest thing. At the end of the second trimester is also when we finalized his name. So Pat and I decided on Wes Alexander. And so we are both in love with that name. So now every morning when we wake up, me and Pat will both like say good morning to Wes, and like it's just very, very cute. It's very cutesy. And I'm just like really looking forward to the next couple of things, which are of course like the baby shower, which will be another virtual soiree, and then putting his room together. We finally started like getting in gifts from the registry and like, you know, his baby furniture and like all that stuff and his freaking clothes, you guys. So I'm gonna do a whole video with like all the stuff that this kid, that I've compulsively bought for this kid, but also like stuff that I'm excited about, like baby gear. I think that, I don't know, I feel like that would be like a fun video to show you guys like all the baby gear and all the stuff that I got. So his clothes started showing up like 2 weeks ago and I have been beside myself. Like I have never in my life looked at like baby clothes the way that I am looking at them now. But I was just like, oh my God, his little arm is gonna go into this little, like, look at how small the arm is, like, I like just could not do it. It was like so tiny and I was like, he's so little, and then like it was just like too much. It was too much for me. So now I have Hat working on clearing out one of our guest bedrooms to turn it into Wes's room and turn the other guest bedroom into his like office slash a guest bedroom, because he's also working from home. So, but we can't share office space because I project my voice and I'm always on conference calls talking loudly. And I just don't think, we might end up having to share office space at some point, but right now it's good that we're separate, because basically like where I'm working is in the same place that I'm filming. So I have like this huge room and it's split in half. So half of it is for YouTube and half of it is like for work. And then we also like had gym equipment in here at some point. So we're trying to like reorganize the house and like, okay, the gym equipment, where does that need to go? And then like, you know, there's like 3 random like TVs in the guest bedroom, and now we have to move them and put them other places, and so there's like a whole bunch going on. I think I'm gonna keep one TV though, like in Wes's room, because I am anticipating having to wake up in the middle of the night and we'll probably want something to watch in there. So so definitely going to do that. But yeah, so I want to film a video with like all of the stuff that we picked up for him, like a little baby haul. And then of course, because I can't stop buying things, it's like in addition to the stuff that I'm getting on the registry, I'm also getting other stuff for him, and like I just cannot. So basically, in short, pregnancy is ghetto. It's not fun. I don't enjoy being pregnant, but I am over the freaking moon about like just meeting our baby, and like I'm just excited for him to be here already. Like, so yeah, we're blessed. We're like over the moon. We're super excited. You know, COVID has like torn a lot apart. So we are, you know, blessed and highly favored, and that we are having so many good things. And y'all, the news just happened, and apparently Joe Biden is also the president-elect. That happened today after the longest freaking election in history. So another good thing. And I don't know, I'm like hoping to end, and I really do feel like I'm ending 2020. I feel like I'm ending 2020 like on a high note, and I just can't wait for like 2021 and to like, I don't know, just new things and new experiences and new baby and just new everything. Everything is beautiful, everything is great. Everything also sucks. I'm using the Milani Make It Dewy setting spray, and what I do is I use that with the Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist, and it makes your skin like, whatever this is, your skin does that. So I'm gonna do that real quick. Okay guys, so this is the final look. If you made it this far, thank you so much for hanging out with me and watching me put on makeup and trying new stuff. I will say, I really like the Huda Beauty palette. I thought it was really pretty. Worth $67? Probably not. The NARS Soft Matte Complete Foundation. Love. Definitely recommend. Let me zoom in on my face so you can see this mug. I love this foundation. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this look, about this eyeshadow palette, about the foundation. What are we thinking? What are we feeling? I already told you guys I don't think it's worth the 67 bucks for the eyeshadow palette, but I do stand by. I will die on this hill. The NARS Soft Matte Complete Foundation is bomb, and I think this might be like a staple, especially through winter. I just love the coverage. I love how it looks. I love how like my skin absorbs it. I just think it's beautiful, and it has a really nice finish. So definitely recommend. 10 out of 10 for me. If you guys have any tips or tricks for what to pack in my hospital bag, or essentials that you guys wish that you put on your registry, let me know, because I'm still like, my registry's done, but of course I can always like pick up more stuff if you guys have like things that just really saved you when you had your first kid. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Thanks for hanging out with me. Follow me on Instagram if you aren't already. The links are in my description box, and I will catch you in the next one.
Don't have sex, because you will get pregnant and die. Don't have sex in the missionary position. Don't have sex standing up. Just don't do it. Promise? Okay, everybody take some rubbers.